Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's episode 2 of our Norwich save, Let's Be Havin Ya. Today we're just going to have a little quick look at how we started the season, review any of the additional transfer business that we did after the last episode, and we're going to head into another league game against Brentford. See you in a sec. So guys, here we go. If you notice, we'll start with this. We're sat nicely in 7th. We've only played 3 games because I wanted to come back at the end of that transfer window, as I mentioned. So we're into the 11th of September, and we've started pretty well. Now, not everything's gone to plan. We'll get onto the transfers in a minute, but from a start point of view, obviously that great win against Tottenham, completely unexpected, but pretty well deserved on reflection. Nice, exciting game as well. Next up was Man City away. Can't really get much more difficult than that. And as you can see, we only lost 2-1. Now, City did, I won't say batter us, but they did dominate, as you might expect. And we defended well and we held on, but just this sort of 10-15 minute period in the first half where we conceded 2, we had to just tighten it up then. I wanted to avoid a battering. Then when it got to sort of 70-75 minutes, we hadn't really done much going forward, but we were still in the game. So I thought we may as well go for it. And when we did that, I think the last sort of 10-15 minutes of the game were well and truly ours. Pukki scored a great goal to get us back within touching distance. And to be fair, we had a couple more sort of half chances where we could have nicked something. I'm not too bothered by a loss there though, and the performance is promising at both ends of the pitch really. So. That was pretty positive to see. Really good opportunity to bounce back from that against Barrow. Nice kind draw in the Carabao Cup. As you can see, it was pretty eventful, but not until the second half, and it was still 0-0 at half time. It was not any sort of danger. I don't think Barrow had the ball in our half once in a highlight or anything like that. They might have had one shot, and we absolutely dominated. We just couldn't find our way through, and then once we did, that was it. It did take the sending off to sort of spark things. As I say, we were good value for the comfortable win anyway. We dominated, but they had the man sent off. We immediately capitalised on that. We scored the second, and then straight after it, I guess they lost their heads, I don't know, went down to 9 men, and we just sort of picked them off from there. So nice and comfortable, fairly easy, and we switched a load of players around as well. There was a good amount of changes in the squad. Now this one, the most recent game, 4-1 against Palace. Now it was a game that I was looking at thinking we need to try and get a result if we're going to try and be sort of comfortably safe from relegation and start pushing up. I did not expect 4-1. New signing Komar got his first goal for the club on 11 minutes. I think it was from a corner. Pukki with 2 in between, both really good goals actually. He's been on fire. And then Komar popped up at the end with his second. So that was brilliant really. They got the one back and made it, I wouldn't say dicey, because it was against the run of play. The game was pretty much all ours. We've played really well there, and they got one back just to make it 3-1, and just had a little bit of 5 minutes where it was, if they get a second one, this could be trouble, but they didn't. We went on to secure it 4-1, and in the end, pretty easy and pretty comfortable. Now. A couple of away games coming up next. As I say, we're going to do the Brentford one in just a second, which is another opportunity if we can carry this form through to pick up some more points. Transfers though, transfer window has slammed shut. Now we did do a little bit staff wise, so it's still embarrassingly bad, but it's starting to mend itself. So we'll continue to work on that, and I'll keep you updated. No one to know though, although we have gone in for Steve Bold, who you will know from his Arsenal days, a bit of an Arsenal legend. See if we can get him in. That will help to bump things up. So player wise, there's as many outs as there are ins, because ignoring all of the sort of youth intake ones, not youth intake, the little signings that I've in fairness left my head of youth development to look at, and I just sort of. I just sort of finalise them just to stop them signing anything too tragic or too expensive. You saw Matuidi, you saw Komar, obviously. So the only real ones of note after that are Gabrielle Silva. Thought we'd get a bit of Brazilian culture into the club. 19 years old, can play across the front, and looks pretty tasty. I think good on the ball, decent technique. He's not like outstanding in any particular area, but I think he could turn into sort of a good flair player and quite versatile as well. Now, I wasn't going to loan him out. He was going to be my sort of. We needed a bit of depth up front. We needed some on the right for Rashica. We've only really got Josh Sargent as a backup for Pookie, but looking at it, I have loaned him out to Stoke because I think he's going to get a load of game time. We can recall him. Same with Adam Ida. So if we need them back, we can get them back. But I've taken a bit of a risk and loaned him out for now, just to try and get him as much game time as soon as possible. The other one, and it's a similar situation, Bernardo Vitale. He was never going to be straight into the first team. Obviously, we've already made a centre-back signing, but he's only 20, and I think we're almost building a bit of a young centre-back core here. We've got Komar as the relative experience at 25. Kabak, if he ends up staying permanently, is 21, I think. Obviously, we've loaned a couple out that are in 18, 19 that are good prospects, and Vital at 20 can hopefully be part of that as well. And he didn't cost us a lot of money; it was only a few $100,000. And again, he's gone straight out on loan to Lens, so playing at a good standard as well. So I'll keep an eye on those two, and hopefully they'll get good game time, and we can sort of look to bring them back next season, or halfway through the season if need be. So apart from that, we didn't do much. I was hoping to bring in another player or something like that with a bit of experience. It never really happened. No one really jumped out that we could feasibly get a deal done for. And to be fair, after how we started, I felt like it was a little bit less necessary. There are some players, as I said, we can call back from loan if we have an injury crisis. But I think we're okay. I think there's enough in the squad. The only bad part, I think, going into this game is Placetta and Sorensen, I think it was, both picked up injuries playing in the international break. Sorensen very much a backup for Matthias Norman, but Placetta I have sort of messed around with and looks a decent prospect. I say prospect, he's not particularly young, he's 23, but another option, more of a a direct winger for that left hand side. So shame to lose him, but they're on the way back. So hopefully we won't miss him too much. And it was Rashica, that had picked up the injury as well, who we will miss. Obviously, he's our sort of starter on the right hand side. So that's a reasonably quiet transfer window, I suppose. But we only had 10 million to spend, so I suppose what can you expect? I did mess around with the idea towards the end of the window of trying to ship a few players out, but I said last time, I think, that I didn't really want to do a wholesale change here. I think there's a decent squad. We can add some youth. We've added a few young players for the future, and we'll start to maybe rotate a few more out, be a bit more active, perhaps in January, but probably next summer once we've hopefully got our feet under the table and got a bit of a foundation. So today, Brentford. After the start, I'm more positive in sort of higher sort of expectations from the team. I think we have to look at a win here. What we will do, I'm going to bring Cantwell over to play on the right hand side today. We're going to try, yeah, and we can have Solis starting on that left hand side. McLean's the only fit player not on the bench apart from Michael McGovern, so he can come in on the bench. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it as it is. Matuidi starts. I think that's the only other change. Matuidi and Williams came in and played really well against Palace. Matuidi just seems to add that extra bit of physicality and steel and solidity into that midfield with Norman, and allows these guys to do their thing. So we're going to stick with that. Again, whilst that's loading, guys, I hope you enjoyed the first episode. If you didn't see it, head over to the channel. It's obviously on there. Just give yourself a bit of a catch up. Scott's also got his Derby save going on, which I've mentioned. Got off to a good start there. Different sort of adventure now in League One, and a different sort of aspect to what this save is going to be about, in that he needs to bounce back. Head over to the channel, give those a watch if you haven't already. So here we go then. Big game in the scheme of things, I suppose. It might not have been one that we looked at as a big game before, but it's one that there's a bit of extra pressure on, because we could do with the result. It's another one of those teams that came up, so we need to get something here. Good early challenge by Williams. Highlight continues, but Williams robs it and then, yeah, stops the attack. I suppose if we don't get a result, we have sort of earned ourselves some bonus points with probably the Tottenham win, but you're almost wasting that if you don't get something here, I think. So it'd be nice to get some, abundance of points on the board early. Brentford having the attack to begin with, though. Well blocked. Pookie gets a challenge in, but it's all Brentford. Nothing created just yet, though. Nothing happening at all, really. I mean, we've done nothing. 30% possession. Not too worried this early on, but here we go then. We've grown into games pretty much every time in that, I suppose we've only played 3 or 4, but it's taken us a while to settle and then we've sort of hit our stride. So hopefully that happens here. Here's Tollis, early ball to Pookie! Takes it early. Didn't get the pace on it to beat the keeper. It's a good little glimpse. We're starting to just open our eyes a little bit now. Here come Brentford through the middle. Brentford. Playing good football, and Tony's causing a problem, and just tripped him up, hasn't he? Ridiculous challenge. He was going absolutely nowhere as well, going away from goal. And Ozan's just tripped him up. I don't know why. He's felt the need to do that. It's not against the run of play, is it? They've not really created anything, but they've started better, and that's just a really silly challenge. So we've given ourselves a difficult job now, or a more difficult job. Let's hope we can bounce back straight away. Ozan looking to make up for his mistake. I think silly. Get up. Good header by Cantwell, but couldn't find its way through to Pookie. Brentford definitely looking the better side at the minute, especially with the ball. Knocking it around really well. Tearing us apart. They're getting me muddled. Perhaps got away with one there. Really good passing move by Brentford. We need to book our ideas up a little bit here. We're getting taken apart. We have got options. That's the good thing. We can change it, but we need to get our foot on things because we're conceding far too much possession against one of the teams that we might actually be able to compete in that area more. I know that they're a decent side, but Canos is running all the way through and easy for Tony, and he's somehow hit the bar. We are all over the place at the moment. Let's have a little bit of a shout at the boys. Gilmore steps in and loses out. Backs to the wall at the minute, guys. We can't get out. Just need to calm things down. Here's Norman into Gilmore. Right, come on. Found some space. Cantwell plays it early. Pookie's in behind. He needs help. Flays it into Tollis. First real sniffer goal since that Pookie chance, and it was a good counter-attacking move, and we've got the corner from it. Come on. Norman in to the mixer, and it's highlights finished, so I assume nothing came of it. Okay, well, I guess we played in midweek, so the tiredness is starting to perhaps show a little bit. But we've at least shown some signs of life, which after that first sort of 25 minutes is some sort of improvement. But they're definitely far better than us on the ball. Look at this, just knocking it around pretty comfortably. And it's possibly something we need to look to disrupt, because we just seem to let them get up a rhythm and then they just pass through us. There's one thing, there's not been loads of signings, but I suppose that the defence is the one that, with Komar coming in quite late, they need to gel and form those partnerships. It's such a simple goal. They've played it wide and Tony's peeled off. Both the centre backs have lost him completely. Look, he's peeled off here. free header, and you know, it's hit the bar, and they've got what they deserved really, with it dropping to Wissa quite kindly to tap in. So real uphill struggle now, and a bit of a, I wasn't thinking we were going to go on win every game, but after a couple of really good results and good performances, this is back down to earth with a real bang here, because we've been pretty awful, haven't we? Okay, well, I'm going to have to change things at half time, because that's been really poor. We've been dominated there. We've had a couple of chances, but we've had none of the play. So that is pretty horrendous. What can we change though? I think we need to start where we've threatened them is when we've gone direct and we've gone in behind and played it early. I think that's what needs to happen here. They're not getting in behind us too much, but we just don't seem closer to them. So let's get tighter. Let's be more aggressive. We've got to go for it. We can't just sit down and take a loss against again. Brentford, I rate them. I like them in real life, but they're not a, you know, they're not one of the top sides. This isn't Man City we're talking about here. So we need a reaction. We've changed things around, going more attacking, we're going more aggressive. It worked against City to some degree. We managed to get a goal and looked pretty good for the last 10 minutes. So maybe it'll work here. But we need to see something. We can't leave it too long, can we, before we get on the score sheet? Otherwise, it's going to be a real struggle. But here they go from a set piece off the bar. That's just kicked it out. Why give away another corner? That set piece, that corner before, I think it's the first one where we've not just got it clear. But anyway, we've not conceded, but we've not seen really much of an improvement, have we? Okay, well, I've had enough. I've seen enough. Changes need to be made. I think we're going to have Giannoulis out on the left, a bit more natural on that left hand side to get forward. Billy Gilmore's been poor. So I think we can do the attacking midfielder job. Hoping a bit more sort of versatility and physicality in that role might just link things up a little bit better. Fresh legs as well. Solis is looking tired, as is Tino Pukki, which isn't ideal because he's the man that's going to score. Come on, boys, we need something here. We've sort of gone for it in the second half, and we've showed even less than we have in the first. Brentford haven't had as much, which is something, but 2-0 down, it's us that needs to be getting forward and getting balls into the box. Here's Cantwell. Back to Aaron's. Players are in the box now, if we can find a way through. Good ball in towards Solis, but never really threatening. Just ineffective at the minute. Here's the corner. Come on, this is what there's something we can get something from, or not. Cantwell comes inside. Need to get it back out. Here's Norman. Forced back. Stretch them, boys. Come on. No runs being made. Brentford are looking nice and compact now with their lead. I don't. Absolutely rubbish, boys. Come on. This is disgusting. We are miles off it here. Visser cuts it in, and Krul with a good save. We've offered, even when we've had the ball forward, we've just not been decisive enough, not moved it enough. Not enough movement off the ball or anything. When we were against Palace, we were, you know, little interchanges, little 1-2s. Nothing here. Last change needs to be made. I'm loath to take Pukki off, to be honest. Let's bring on Sargent. We'll go inside forward. It's almost like two up front now, I think. Matuidi can hopefully cover that side. Yeah, we need to make a real push now. It's almost like we're going sort of 2.5 up top. And it's still them. Still them. Come on then, Tim. Get us going. This has not been a good episode. After a good first one, won a good game, exciting game. This has been dreadful performance. We're back to normal, guys. We're back to normal. These episodes where we have a game on and they're terrible and we lose. Probably this is what we are going to expect more from the season. I guess this is probably what I was expecting beforehand, at least. And we've just got to go for it now. See if we can get one back, see if we can make it a dicey last few minutes and salvage something, but based on what we've done so far, it doesn't look like it, does it? We've been pretty awful. We don't deserve anything from the game, so here's Aaron's. Pokes it for Cantwell. Players are forward with him, but he doesn't get there. Tweedy cuts it out. Norman tries the killer pass. It's a good challenge. I thought he was getting sent off then. Here's Sargent, the fresh legs. Not really wants to be. Good cross in for Pookie, and it's a great save. Oh, Norman with the corner, headed away. It's a goal line technology. Didn't look it. It's no better an angle, to be honest. So, all right, whatever. Cheers. I'll take your word for it. No, I think that is it, isn't it? We don't deserve it, as I say. That's comfortable for Brentford. We've not tested them anywhere near enough. And consider the results we've got. A battered Crystal Palace. Got a win against Spurs. Decent performance against Man City. We have not shown up here at all. Aaron's with a good challenge though. Get a consolation goal, bit of confidence for someone. Gomar forward, aimless. I know we're playing direct, but absolutely aimless. Some of these balls forward. Pookie's too deep. And that's it. That's that. Right, well, absolutely not the game that I wanted to be showing you guys on here, but I suppose, look at that, absolutely dominated. Maybe we need to look at a different approach to some of the games like that, but that was really poor. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. It's a relatively quick one. You've seen the transfer business. We've had a decent start to the season. Let's not dwell too much on that. We're not expecting to win most games. It's not going to be that sort of season, I don't think. The players we've got and the budgets we've got are less than the majority of teams, and I am by no means a tactical genius, so it's going to be a tough season. But we've got enough encouragement from the games before this to sort of give us some hope that we've got something to build with. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Give us a like, subscribe, notifications, all of that sort of stuff, and we'll see you next time with hopefully a better result. Cheers.